All right, let's go through this exercise. Let's see how I would tackle this. Now, one of the first things that I like to do, I don't always do this by writing it out like I'll do here, but one of the first things I like to do is to break down the problem into smaller parts. And that works really well with functional programming because that's really what you're dealing with, is you're dealing with these smaller parts, and each of these smaller parts become a function. And then you'll compose those functions to solve the problem. So basically, in order to make this happen, here's the things that I need to do. I need to convert this string to lowercase. I want to do that. I want to make it all lowercase, and then I can make the first letter uppercase. So that's why I'm converting it to lowercase first. And then I will need to break the string apart. I'm going to break the string apart into individual words so that I can deal with each one of those separately. So this is how I'm approaching this. And I already have a function from a previous topic that we've worked on that I can use for that. And so I will go ahead and use that function as well. And then I want to capitalize the first letter of each of those words. And then finally, the last thing we'll do is join the words back together. And I have a function that does that already. We did that in a previous topic, so I can copy that one in. All right, so this is the process I'm going to go through. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy in those two functions that we've created in a previous exercise. I'm going to use them here. Now, just a note, one way to manage when you get a lot of different functions and whatnot, you can look at the section on modules, which is later in this course, to help you manage reusing code and things like that. But here I am, I'm just copying those in. I already have those created, so I will use this as a part of that. All right, now what I don't have one that converts to a lowercase. We did create one that converts to uppercase, but I'm going to create my lowercase function here. I'm going to call it make lowercase, and that's going to receive a string, and then what is it going to return? String.to lowercase. And notice here I didn't put parentheses around the parameter. When there's a single parameter, those parentheses are optional. I include them on this function, these functions here, but they're not necessary. They are optional. So I haven't done that there. All right, now I've got 3 of these functions created for setting this up. The one I don't have created is this capitalize the first letter. Now, there's several different ways to do that, but what I want to create first is I want to create a function that will just take a string and it will capitalize the first letter of that string. Then I'll create another function that will use this function with the map method and go through that array. We're going to get an array from this one here. Go through that array of words and apply that function to each word within the array, because the function I'm creating is going to do that for each string. So if I then apply it to each word, I'll have accomplished what I want to do. So let's first create a function that's going to capitalize the first letter. And I'll call that cap first letter, just like that. It's going to receive a string. And then what will it do with that string? Well, I'm going to take that string and I'm going to use the char at. That's a method of the string object wrapper. I'm going to take the char at. That takes basically the first character. And what am I going to do with that first character? Well, I'm going to convert it to uppercase. Simple as that. Now, I have the first character of the string in uppercase, but I need to add to it the rest of the string so that what gets returned is that first character in uppercase plus the rest of that string. And so the way I get the rest of the string is I take that string that's passed in and I'm going to slice it, and I'm going to start with the second character, which slice is 0 based, And so the first character is 0, second character will be 1. It will then extract the rest of that string and apply it to this first character here that's already in uppercase. So now I have a function that will convert the first letter of a string to uppercase. And I want to use that and to create a function that is going to capitalize each word. I'm going to call this cap each word. Just like that. That is going to receive an array, okay? Remember, I'm going to be doing it here. And this is after we break the string apart by words. We're going to break it into an array of words. So I'll receive an array here. I want to cycle through that array. And how do I want to cycle through that array? With the map method. Because I'm going to return another array, and then we'll join those back together into a string. And so my map method, and what do I pass in? Well, I just pass in this function here. Simple as that. Because I want this function. This function is going to take whatever string it receives, and it's going to make it title case. And the map will cause it to go through each string, each word that's passed in, and convert them title case. Return an array, and then we'll join those back together. All right, I've got the functions I need. Now let's go ahead and compose this. So I'm going to compose a new function, make title case. And I'm going to use compose. You're welcome to use pipe. All right, so first thing we want to do, and I'm working from bottom to top here because I'm using compose, but the first thing we want to do is we want to make it lowercase. So we're going to pass in this string up here. First thing I will do is make it lowercase. Then what am I going to do after that? Well, then I want to convert the string to array. This is one of the methods that we passed in, or one of the functions that we passed in that we had already created. And then what do I want to do at that point? I'm going to use this one here to cap each word. And then finally, I want to convert the array to a string. See, very declarative as I'm setting that up. I'm composing a brand new function, and now I can use that brand new function, and I'm just going to place the results into a results variable, make title case, and what I'm going to pass in, I'm going to pass in that string that I declared up here, right here. All right, let's go ahead and save that and see what we get. So let's go ahead and, okay, no errors, so that's good. Let's take a look at results now. And there we have, that string is now in title case. The word that was all uppercase is no longer all uppercase, and the first letter of each word is in uppercase. So it's all title case for us. So we've created this function now, and really we could use this. I'm trying to show you here how we reuse the things we create. Functional programming. We want to reuse things. We don't want to create them over and over again. So we could reuse that function we just created with the previous exercise if we wanted to make those title case. So let me bring in previous exercise here. We got it right here. This is what we did before. Okay. We created those post headings, and this is the function we composed to do that. And then here's where we add it. Well, what I want to do is I want to copy in the stuff that I created in this current exercise, and I'm going to copy those in right above here because I'm going to be reusing that last function, the one I composed, the make title case. I'm going to use it here in create post head. Now, where do we want to use that? Well, this takes a string. This function here takes a string and then returns a string. So here we extract the string, and I could do it right there, and then we could do the ellipse 20 right after it. So that's what I think I'll do, is I'm going to add it right there, make title case, and put a comma after that. All right, I'm going to save that, And I've already got this HTML page opened. I'll just go to that one there. This is the combined exercise one. And let me go here and let's take a look at the post headings. And if I open up that array, now we can see that our post headings are all title case. So there we went ahead and applied it to the previous exercise. So something we did in this exercise, we were able to apply to something else. All right. I hope, the most important thing I hope you got out of the exercise is that you were able to apply some of those functional programming concepts which we've gone through. And the way functional programming is currently in JavaScript, it is becoming a critical paradigm to be aware of. Even if you don't choose to use it in your own coding, you need to be aware of it because you're most likely going to see it. All right, let's move on to the next topic.